first, to compare them, Hurts is a better quarterback.
Yes.
In fact, the three remaining quarterbacks, and I'm going to count Mahomes. I don't know where he's at, but he's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yes.
The three remaining quarterbacks are better than Brock Purdy.
They have no limitations.
Not that I can see.
No limitations. They're prototypical elite quarterbacks.
Yeah. And Purdy is not at that level. That doesn't mean he can't win the next two games.
Correct.
But he is not at their level. So you asked that question. Hurts compared to Purdy. I would say, and this is a metaphor, Hurts plays the game at a shout, and Purdy plays the game in normal conversational tones.
Yes.
And Hurts not only can throw the bomb, he's accurate outside the hash marks, medium, short, and he runs. And he is a better athlete and a more gifted quarterback than Brock Purdy. But Brock Purdy has a quarterback temperament. I don't know about Hurts. I've only seen him play a couple of times this year because they're over there.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy has a quarterback's temperament. He doesn't get upset. He's in control of the huddle. He's in control when he's given the signals. In the first quarter of that game, he was under a lot of pressure. That wasn't his fault. And he handled it, Iggy. He's a rookie, and he handled it. So what I want to say is he may have a better temperament than Hurts. I simply don't know. And he's not as good as Hurts, but he's certainly good enough to win that game and to win the Super Bowl.
Talking about his temperament real quick, it was in such stark contrast to Dak's, and also not to bring up an old wound, but it was in contrast to Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy played that team last year. He threw an interception. I don't see Jimmy Garoppolo making it through that game without throwing a pick. That's what he did, especially in the playoffs. The fact that Brock Purdy could make it through the game without throwing a pick and actually have that long throw down the middle to Kittle and not turn the ball over, that means he's a damn good quarterback. He's a damn good quarterback. He's a damn good quarterback. But is he great? Is he great enough?
Okay, interesting. He's not great. So the other three I'm going to call great.
Yeah.
He's not great, so he's not great enough.
Yeah.
But he may be good enough to win the next two games.
Yes.
So I don't think, more important, I don't think he's going to hold them back. Jimmy would hold them back. Kaepernick would hold them back. I don't think he will hold them back. He can win, but is he as great as Hurts? No, but we haven't seen Hurts under the kind of pressure we've seen Brock Purdy under. And he may turn into another Dak. We don't know.
But it's fair to wonder, like, with Brock, he's a great story. He's been the perfect quarterback for the moment. He's better than Jimmy Garoppolo. He's the best quarterback the Niners have had in a while. We still don't know if he's good enough to win a Super Bowl, because when you get this far into the season, you have to go through great quarterbacks who are on good teams. And we'll see. We'll see. The Niners could lose this game, and he might not be the reason they lose, but you could also argue, well, maybe he wasn't great enough to beat Jalen Hurts. In which case, do the Niners not have their franchise quarterback yet? I mean, we have to see what happens in the game first, but these are questions they still have to ask themselves. The conversation isn't over with Brock Purdy.
No. I totally agree with you. And I want to say, in a sense, the conversation is just beginning.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to learn so much about him on Sunday that the conversation is just beginning. I honestly believe that. But he's not beginning all the way down, like an unknown. The conversation is beginning that this is a quarterback we respect and who's undefeated. Now, Larry, when you talked to him yesterday, kept making the point he's doing really well for a rookie. And it's true, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that he's doing well for a rookie. You don't get extra points for that. What matters is he good enough to win?
Yes.
On Sunday.
Right. And with Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy Garoppolo did so many good things. His record was great. His numbers were great. But the Niners ultimately moved on because they felt he wasn't good enough to win it all. And they still have to ask that question for Brock Purdy. And they're going to find out more this week.
And he has to prove it.
He has to prove it.
As you would say, the burden of proof is on him. One thing, Larry, I wasn't putting you down. I was just expanding on the conversation that you had with Iggy. So don't be sore at me.
Because as recently as 6 months ago, the Niners were all in with Trey Lance. They had given up 3 first-round picks for him, and the reason they went to him is because they felt they needed a quarterback with that type of skill set to compete against quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow, someone who has the potential to be elite. And that's who they thought Trey Lance could be. When they drafted Brock Purdy, they were thinking, can we just get another Nick Mullins? So I know the perceptions have shifted in 6 months, but still, how much can they really shift? And if Brock Purdy falls apart in the NFC Championship game or just looks limited, they have to at least not reconsider, but keep their minds open. And what you say, have a quarterback competition, those are things they have to talk about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, he's proved that he's a very good quarterback.
Starting quarterback.
Starting quarterback. He's not a backup quarterback.
No.
He's a starting
a good
quarterback.
One.
Yeah. As opposed to, say, Jimmy, who's I don't believe a starting quarterback anymore.
Yeah.
And there are others. I'm not even sure Geno Smith is a starting quarterback. If you
I'm
want
with
to
you
know
on
the
that.
truth.
I'm with you on that. Overrated.
Okay. Yeah. This kid is a starting quarterback. It's a question is how high is his limit?
Right.
And we don't know the answer. And
Right.
Here's the thing. One of the things this game is about, obviously it's about who wins and loses, but one of the things it's about is him. Who is he? How well will he do? And the point is, one of the things that makes this game so exciting is we're going to learn. We're going to learn so much. Things that we don't already know. And I find that thrilling. Not daunting. I find it thrilling.
Absolutely. And it just feels like the Brock Purdy story has been a fantasy. It's been amazing. He hasn't lost yet. He's done things that no rookie quarterback has ever done, and yet it's still not good enough. You know what I mean?
We don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if the story, they have to win the Super Bowl, and if they don't, it's going to be very uncomfortable. It won't be his fault, but even him doing like the most remarkable thing a rookie's ever done, there's still even higher expectations for him, which is really amazing. Because the team is
higher. Yes, and the 49ers, for a long time under Jed, they didn't have it. But I grew up, I started my career with the Niners having the highest expectations of any team in sports, not in football, any team in sports. And this team is beginning to approach that. And I think your point is right. If they don't win on Sunday or if they don't win the Super Bowl, you wouldn't be satisfied. You wouldn't be satisfied with it. You might not be satisfied with Fred Warner. You wouldn't be satisfied with anybody. And you would not be satisfied with the quarterback. Having said that, I wouldn't bring back Jimmy and I wouldn't go to Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady is old and he would bring in a lot of problems between him and the head coach. I would stick with the 2 young guys they have because I think they're both gifted.
Right. And, if the Eagles win this game and there's a stark difference between Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy, just remember that Trey Lance is supposed to be like Jalen Hurts. Doesn't mean he will be. But and you have him on the team still under contract for 2 more years. Now, if Brock Purdy beats the crap out of Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, we would look at him a lot differently, and that would be a legendary accomplishment.
That's right. And that's one of the reasons this game is so thrilling because we don't know. It's more fun when you read a novel and you don't know how it ends because it's a page turner. You want to go. This game is a page turner.
Right. It's like, so if the Niners lose, what happens? Well, it depends on how they lose, who plays well, who doesn't play well, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Iggy and I look at football games as drama, as a play. As a beginning, a middle, and an end. It has a problem. Who's going to win? It has suspense. It has a resolution. Right. That's how we look at it. And Iggy, I can't wait for this play to start. It's
Absolutely.
Only Tuesday, and in a way, I don't want to wish my life away, but I wish it were Sunday because I'm dying to see this play.
And people say, like, hey, Grant and Lowell, how can you find enjoyment? How do you interact with football if you're not rooting for a team? How do you watch the game and enjoy it if you're not rooting for a team? Well, it's like if I asked you, how do you watch a movie if you're not rooting for one of the characters to win? Right. It's like, I mean, why do I have
or not rooting for the director? I'm not rooting for the director.
I can enjoy the protagonist. I can enjoy the bad guy, and sometimes I like the bad guy even more. Most of the times.
Right.
Anyway.